Thank you. All right, guys, we are live here. Guys, what's happening right now between Israel and the regime in Iran? It's a lot more significant than I think a lot of people are realizing. I'm following some I'm right now traveling, so it's hard to keep up with everything. So I'm gonna see what you guys have to say. But it seems like some of the conversations that I'm following, not by Iranians, the Iranians seem to understanding the significance in this of this. But some of the other conversations that I'm following, it doesn't seem like people understand the significance of what we're witnessing. By the way, guys, if you are in the chat, let me know. I know we have to wait a little bit until some people show up, but I appreciate as soon as you show up, if you leave something in the comments, so I know that some. Okay, I see that Lexus is here saying, "Hey, all right." So, how much are you guys following right now the war between the regime and the regime in Iran and Israel right now? Okay, Gene is here. Great, great. Gene is saying, "Hey, good morning." Hey, Gene, can you give me some updates about regarding what's happening right now in Israel? Jamie is here. Lexus is here. Abulfaz is here. Hi, hi, hi. The science apologist is here. Avinash is here. Farhad is here. Okay, good. This is right time for regime. This is a guys. Can I tell you something? Something that other people might not tell you. A semi-regime change has already happened because the top leaders of IRGC were removed, and IRGC is basically the Islamic Republic. Hi, Sarah. Jean is saying, as much as I can, but we. What do you mean? As much as I can, but we has alarms. Yeah, guys. In Israel, I heard Roy was telling me that you're going in and out. Oh, here, Roy is here saying, Armin, are you following me? You seem to be in every video I'm watching. Roy, can you give me some updates regarding what's happening in Israel? Jean and Roy. Shelly saying, everyone is on alert. Been a rough night. We were in the shelter most of the night. Okay, so the attacks by the regime on Israel, so far I've heard there was one person confirmed dead in Israel, one woman. Has there been any update? I know there's some other injuries, many people significantly injured, but fatalities we have one, right? I know this is the situation in Israel is very tense. Oh, Jean is saying yes. But let me give you something. Let me tell you something that might make you feel better. This is the worst that could get. What you're witnessing right now, as bad as it is in Israel, and I understand that, but if the Iranian regime could do anything more, this was the time to do it. So, given that they're not doing anything more, that means that they can't do anything more. There is nothing that they could. There is no point in holding back anymore. All the main people are gone. Bagheri, Hajizadeh, Salami, and potentially Shamkhani. Roy is saying, we've seen that one missile is causing a lot of distraction. I don't know what you mean. But guys, okay, so let me. A lot of people, when you say Islamic Republic, what they think of is Khamenei. Some idiots might even think of the president, which is insane. The president in Iran is nothing at all, absolutely nothing. But so here's the different levels, okay? So some people, when you say Iran, the Iranian regime, they think of the president, which is stupid. A little bit more advanced, people might think like, no, not the president, obviously, Khamenei, the supreme leader. That's higher level. But actually, it's not Khamenei. It's when I think of the Islamic Republic, what comes to my mind is the IRGC. And all of the top commanders of IRGC in the first wave of attack, this was a significant attack. This was the most masterful. I'm sorry to the celebrators of the pager attack, but this was better. This was far. Like, no, I'm just kidding. No, let me tell you. Now this is so the Ukrainian when it comes to masterful attacks, the Patriot attack when it happened against Hezbollah, it became number one in the world when it comes to Hollywood type high intelligence targeted operation. We've never seen anything like the Patriot attack. But then when the Ukrainian attack just happened and they used the drones to take out the bombers of Russia, all of a sudden that became number one. It was more impressive than even the Patriot attack. And now with this one, this is number one because within a couple of hours, Israel managed to completely behead the Islamic Republic. This is more significant than what Israel did with Hezbollah. And it's not being as celebrated as much as that one, which is I think a lot of people don't understand what's happening. Jamie saying I think the Persians have to go out against the Islamic Iranian regime. Jamie, it's very difficult right now because this is the time that the military presence right now on the ground by the regime is maximum because they're afraid of exactly that. So this might not be the ideal time to do that. Roy is saying, but can't they get a grip soon and be able to be more aggressive? Be more aggressive with what? They are using right now their most advanced missiles. Also, who's gonna, like, under whose command? Hajizadeh is dead. Hajizadeh is dead. Salami is dead. Bagheri is dead. I mean, whoever they put second is going to be not. First of all, they're going to be afraid of them dying. Next, the cat is saying we are strong, rough night, but this was a long time coming. We do not regret it. You should not regret it. You should be so proud of this. This is impressive. This is the most impressive thing I've ever seen. Math Shin is saying we have had to stay in shelters or near a shelter most of the time. If Darshan is saying if USA want to end regime in Iran, they can do it easily, but USA doesn't want democratic Iran. No, that's a conspiracy theory. This has nothing to do. First of all, talking about the USA as if the USA is just one thing is not the right way to talk about these things. Yeah, by the way, can I tell you just something? I did a Persian stream before. I went on the Persian stream before I came here on the English stream because I wanted to talk to the people in Iran. And let me tell you something. They are celebrating. They are thanking Netanyahu. I think Netanyahu might end up being more popular in Iran than in Israel. Right? Okay, let me see. So I need to get my other phone here because at some point this phone's live chat stops working and I would have to start using for some reason. Oh no, it's still working. You guys are still here. You have no idea how many people are celebrating right now in Iran. It's absolutely crazy. We were talking about starting a hashtag saying thank you Bibi. The videos you need, Roy is saying we need these videos on the Persian stream. People, I told the people in the chat on the Persian stream, like I'm gonna go on the English chat soon, on English live stream soon. What's your message to my Israeli audience on the English channel? And the chat was filled with thanks and appreciation. And this is what I ask people there, and I like ask them if they agree with me. And like, there's nobody other than Israel that could do this. It's not United States might have the military capital, but it doesn't have the political capital. Given how isolationist both the left and the right is in America right now, so there's no appetite for doing anything like this. And because United States is a democracy, and the American people have no appetite for getting involved in anything like this. So even if they have the military capital, they don't have the political capital to do anything like this. The Iranian people are not armed, so the Iranian people cannot do anything like this. It's only Israel that could bring this blessing upon the Iranian people like this. In a couple hours, they just removed. I mean, Iranian people, even if millions of them were protesting in the streets, they would not even be able. They would not be able to just remove these people. Do you understand the names that I'm mentioning? Hajizadeh Bagheri, Salami, and potentially Shamkhani. Oh my God, please, please, Shamkhani. I know Shamkhani was hit and he was in critical situation. I don't know if he's out. If he, like, it hasn't been confirmed yet whether or not he's out. Again, I'm trying to use words that were I'm trying to use words that YouTube would not be sensitive with, if you know what I mean. But if Shamkhani has been also eliminated, that is more significant than all of them. I mean, if you think of the Islamic Republic, Khamenei is the mouth, okay? Shamkhani is the brain, and the IRGC commanders that were taken were the hands and legs. So only a mouthpiece would be left right now. This is technically a proto a toppling of the regime, because who's left? Yeah, so people on the like Romero is saying he indeed became a salami. Yeah, so we're joking on the Persian channel. Everybody turned into cutlet except salami. He was salam. He turned into salami. Yeah, let's go, Bibi. Exactly. Why do I? Yeah, okay. So, so guys, the only person that could ruin this right now, this is why we like, is Trump, unfortunately. So let me tell you what the two scenarios that could happen here. I already told this on Harris Sultan's channel, which I was live there, but I'll let you guys know as well, right? So these are the two things that could lead into a toppling, right? Because Israel has signaled already that they're going to go all in until the threat from Iran is neutralized. And so the reason why Trump could be a problem right now, and this is why Iranians are learning to like Netanyahu more than they like Trump, because Trump really wants a deal. And this attack that you're witnessing right now, this was supposed to happen in May. But it's happening right now because Trump was stopping Netanyahu from carrying it out, because he didn't want anything to get in the way between him doing a deal with the Iranian regime. Right? Yeah, exactly. Iran Ball is saying Trump really has a deal fetish. Yeah, he has a deal fetish, and the MAGA movement is very isolationist and anti-war. So there's a problem. That's a problem there as well. So he give it. So he really wanted the deal. So he was stopping Netanyahu, but he realized, unfortunately, too late, that these are not people you could do negotiations with. I mean, he still thinks that there's room for negotiation, but it became more complicated that he thought it would be. And we everybody knew that except Trump. Like, it seemed like everybody knew this except Trump. In the same way that Trump thought that the whole Russia Ukraine thing, he could come in and he will just, like, I would just talk it out and everybody will be I will fix everything within a day. And he was an idiot to think that it's possible. He was an idiot to think that Putin wanted peace at all. Now he's realizing that this is more complicated. He was making the same mistake with the Islamic Republic. He just treats evil dictatorial people as if they are people you could basically reason with. People like Putin or the Ayatollahs of the regime in Iran, there's only one language these people understand, and that's the language of force. There's nothing else you could do. And that's what Netanyahu understands, that's what Trump doesn't understand. He stopped Netanyahu from doing this attack in May, and he was letting the nuclear negotiations to go through. And now that Trump is realizing that they were just stalling, they were just trying to buy time until they get the nuclear weapon, he finally gave a green light to Netanyahu to basically carry out the attack. And how ready Israel was. It was glorious. Like, if you're Israeli, are you not proud? Are you not proud of your country right now? Yeah, Roy. Let me before I continue the scenarios. Let me answer to Roy's question. Roy is saying, "Is the IRGC portraying the attacks as successful and made Israel suffer?" Oh my God, yes, and it's working with their supporters because this actually fits in to my second scenario, because the Islamic Republic right now is worried about two things. One is Israel is basically killing them left and right. The second is how bad this looks. And a lot of people might think, like, why would they care about how bad this looks? You're dying. Shouldn't you be worried more about survival than how this looks? The problem is for the Islamic Republic, is if this looks bad, this could basically end them if it looks bad. So looking good is a matter of survival for the Islamic Republic, because if they look pathetically weak, then the infighting and the hardliners turning on the regime will speed up. So it's very, very important for them to take control over the narrative, and even when they're being so humiliated, to act like they still have the upper hand in some way. So there's two stories that they're spreading right now, which their followers are believing, and it's very important for them, for their followers to believe. One is that they took. This is This is such a joke. They're claiming that they took down two F-35s. Yeah, exactly. They're trying to save face, and they're saying this is the. I mean, if anybody understands F-35 and how they work, you will understand how big of a joke this is, right? That, and they're claiming that this basically marks the first time in their history that somebody has managed to take down an F-35, and they didn't do it once. They did it twice, and they're spreading this bullshit on their social media right now, and and even the state media was spreading that, which is unbelievable, right? And also, and they're believing it, they're buying it. The hardliners are the people, their fans are buying it. They're celebrating it. And there's another story that they were spreading regarding capturing a female pilot. Did you guys hear about that? So apparently that's also fake. Really? Raw, I haven't heard somebody saying they also lied that Netanyahu fled to Cyprus. I haven't heard that one. But let me see what Roy is saying. Roy is saying, do the supporters of the IRGC know the air superiority of Israel over their land? Oh, you just answered that they dropped two. Yes. No, they are. No, basically, I mean, their supporters are. There are some of them who understand what's happening, and they're fighting over with the. So what I'm seeing within the fans of IRGC and the regime is the infighting. There are some of them that are not as dumb as the other ones, and they realize what's happening and how their ass is being handed over to them, how humiliated they're being, and they're fighting with the people who constantly try to save face. Um, but yeah, Israel is just entering Iranians' airspace as if it's nothing, as if there's no defense, as if they just could just go there and do whatever. I mean, they might as well just go for a tour in Iran as well and just go do sightseeing. Uh, yeah, it's so easy to go in and out. They might as well just go visit Persepolis and just take some pictures, get off their planes and take some selfies and get out. I mean, you might as well. It's that easy. Yeah, the F-14s are going to catch an F-35. Um, so what was it? What was I saying? So the first scenario, which would be ideal, but I don't know if that's going to happen, is if you just let Netanyahu finish the job, because, guys, I think even if the Israeli government is thinking this is easier than we thought. I think they are, I don't know, but I think they knew that they're going to have the upper hand, but I think they, just like they overestimated Hezbollah, they also overestimated the IRGC, and I think they're like, this is too easy. Okay, and what's happening is, like, they're noticing how easy it is for them to just go in and do whatever they want, and they're realizing that they could basically, if Trump basically lets them, they could basically end the entire regime. That's how easy it is, and they want to. Okay, so Scenario number one, we just they just let Israel do its thing, and this would be the end of the Islamic Republic in the next couple of weeks. The absolute falling of the Islamic Republic, and the bringing back of the Pahlavi dynasty, or bringing back of Reza Pahlavi as the continuation of the Pahlavi dynasty. We were basically having it very good before the Islamic Revolution of 1979. Things were growing really fast. Things were amazing. Um, so we could just get back on that train, just continue where we left off with Reza Pahlavi as our leader. Within the next couple of weeks. So that could be scenario number one. Scenario number two, the Iranian regime basically goes to Trump and we're like, you know what, we we fucked up. We're sorry. What do you want? What was that deal that we weren't signing? Just write whatever you want. We'll sign. We'll sign what. Just get this BB off of our back. Just get BB off of our back. We'll sign whatever the fuck you want. Okay. Okay. And unfortunately, it's likely in this scenario for Trump to basically say that, oh, this is great, I got what I wanted. And this scenario, it could be likely because it's such a good sell to the MAGA movement. Because think about it. Think about how amazing of a sell this is to the MAGA movement. Telling the MAGA will basically, what they will see is that United States did not enter into a war, and Trump masterfully just allowed Netanyahu to do a little bit of his thing for a while, and then get them back on the negotiating table. So the MAGA people will be able to sell this. They're like, look, we didn't enter into a war, and Trump managed to get them bend the knee without using American troops. So this would be, and we got the deal that we wanted without even using any of our own, and still at the same time claim that it was us because Israel is using military weaponry. So it's still the superiority of American weaponry that is doing all of this, but no American soldiers involved, right? So Trump could basically come and put a stop to the continuation of this war as soon as the Iranian regime behind the scenes bend the knee. Because in front of the scenes, they will be acting like tough, and them, they will admit that they got hit majorly because their main commanders were taken out. But they will pretend like they also did a lot of damage to Israel, which we know they can't and won't. And then they will pretend that it was Trump that came to them while basically begging Trump to come to them. They will say, like, we were basically attacking Israel so badly, we were hurting him so much that Trump had to come beg to us to stop. That's what they will sell to their own supporters, while basically them begging Trump to, like, hey, can we just do whatever deal you want? And again, guys, but here's the good thing. It would be so obvious that a higher percentage of IRGC fans will figure out what's happening. So we cannot win all of them. It's basically, right now we're already, I think, based on what I'm saying, I think this is just a guess that 50, at least half of the IRGC or the regime supporters know that they're being humiliated. And I think this could grow to, maybe 75%, because this is that bending of the knee, that would be too obvious. Because at this point, if they surrender to Trump so that Trump comes and stops BB, at the end of the day, whatever deal they sign is going to be public, and the terms will be so humiliating to the Islamic Republic that even their own supporters will not be able to defend. Except this is what they would do: they will basically blame the president by saying that the president is a Zionist asset for the Israeli government, right? That's what they would do. That's what they usually do. That's how they're going to try to get out of it. But the key thing is that if it's not going to be the Israeli military taking down the regime, what is in this scenario, the second scenario? So the first scenario was basically letting Netanyahu do his thing, and that would be the end of the regime. which is, guys, it's basically this close. Like, if nobody stops Netanyahu, there's no military that is stopping Netanyahu for finishing the job. Like, Netanyahu right now has the power to end the Islamic Republic, and it's only Trump that could stop him, right? And if Trump stops him by making a deal, then it's now up to two things. Actually, mostly one thing: the infighting within the regime, because up from this moment on, every single top commander within Iran knows that every single breath that it comes out of their mouth is because Netanyahu is allowing it. Their lives completely depend on Netanyahu deciding that this is not your time to die. And basically, Bibi is their god. They will realize. So if we basically divide the Islamic Republic into two types of people, the more ideological ones, which are the lovers of death, and the more power hungry ones that are just using religion as a tool rather than that actually being their goal. Their survival matters for them. So the life lovers versus the death lovers, right? So the infighting between these two groups within the regime, that's what's going to topple the regime. And right now, when the officials within the regime, they realize that at any moment, if Netanyahu decides their life could be ended, then they are going to try to fight against the more ideological part of the regime to stop them from killing them. Basically, the ideological, they like, if you guys want to go down, you're not taking us down with them. Like, we have to somehow bend the knee to Bibi, because this is not, we were willing to sacrifice the foot soldiers for our cause, for our power, but they're not going for the foot soldiers. They're going directly for the head. Like, this is different from classic warfare. Like, you had the commanders in the base, and the foot soldiers will go die for the commanders. These days, they're basically going around the foot soldiers. They're going right for the head, and now the consequences of going to war is so much more for commanders now, because they're like, we thought we would be last, but you're first. So given that this is the new reality of war, they have to change their calculations. And the new calculation is like, you know what? Fuck it. This is not worth it. We could, like, and if they say, fuck it, this is not worth it, the infighting would be so high. The infighting would be so high that would basically bring the infighting. Somebody's saying you're welcome. Kara, you're saying you're welcome because you're Israeli? And you're saying you're welcome to the Iranian people? I mean, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Israel. To be fair, Israel owes Iranian people as well. Thousands of years ago, it was Cyrus the Great that saved Israel. So this is just you guys paying us back, okay? So you owe us. There would be no Israel. The Jews owe. Oh no! He's saying no. Okay. Yeah. So somebody is asking, did Israel use drones? Okay. So this was how masterful this plan was, right, guys? It wasn't just that within the first wave of attack, they already knew exactly where all these commanders were sleeping, and they came and they hit them and they went, and within the first wave, the entire heads of the IRGC was to. They squished them like a bug. Like, they just came in, and the entire head of IRGC, the entire head of basically Islamic Republic, within one go, was gone. But that was not even the most impressive part. The most impressive part was that Israeli commandos were ready within Iran. They were just ready there. Many of them were ready. Did you guys know this? And Israel had already many agents ready living in Iran. Oh, thank you, Kenny, for the gifting membership to people here. And when these operations were happening, not only they had commandos already living in Iran, which I'm assuming these are Iranians who are basically loyal to Israel. Oh, let me read this by Gene. One of our prime ministers, former prime minister, said the IRGC is just a blip in the relationship between Iranians and Jews. Oh, that's so sweet. Let me read this one more time. One of our prime ministers said that the IRGC is just a blip in the relationship between Iranians and Jews. That is so sweet. I love that. I love that. That's beautiful. Okay, what was I saying? So we had Israeli commandos in Iran ready for a moment like this, and get this, they had a drone base ready to be deployed, already existing in Iran. This is some 007. I mean, shit. That this is some crazy. They just had a drone. Israel just had a drone base ready in Iran for operations at the at any to use at the moments of notice. What the hell? And yeah, this is so much more significant than the pager attack and even the truck drone attack by Ukraine, because the truck attack by Ukraine, they had to send the drones there to do this. These drones were already just there for I don't know how long ready. Yes, the cat lady saying this is the definition of chutzpah. Israel is so badass, Daniel's saying. And you know what happened when this so what happened was when the planes were coming in, Israeli planes were coming in to basically take out the targets, the drones took off, and when the Iranian regime was getting ready to retaliate, it attacked the bases of those missiles to reduce the retaliation. That is some what? If this was a Hollywood movie, people were like, "Yeah, okay, this obviously this is Hollywood. This will never happen in real life." And do you understand the deep level of knowledge they had of every single IRGC commander where they were sleeping that night? That is crazy. Adam is saying, why is there never any movie on Mossad? For us Americans, we have Spy Game with Brad Pitt. Okay, well, because there's so much anti-Israeli propaganda around the world that it won't sell. You know what I mean? It will sell only in Israel and in Iran and in India. Okay, you know, they will have there will be Israelis in maybe where else? Mostly Iranians, and Iranians will have to wouldn't even be able to pay for it, so we just be downloading it. Also in India, so only in Israel you could only make money from an Israeli audience. Yeah. Guys, so basically we could be seeing the end of the Islamic Republic. Again, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it has never been closer. Never been closer. By the way, again, thank you, Adam and Kenny, for supporting the show today. Yeah, Israel, basically, guys, Israel and Ukraine are basically doing most of the lifting when it comes to fighting the enemies of liberalism worldwide. You know, like all the other main liberal countries are just standing by watching as these two small countries are basically standing between the evil in the world and the rest of the world. These two countries are basically standing in the way. Ukraine and Israel. This is why I keep saying supporting Ukraine and supporting Israel is basically defending the entire planet, because these are the countries that are the main evil in the world, trying to come for the rest of the planet. These are the two countries that are standing in the way. Oh wow, we got a super sticker. Starkist. Thank you so much, Starkist, for the super chat. This is why people say, "Why, Armin? Why are you supporting Israel?" I'm like, I'm not supporting Israel. I'm supporting the world. Supporting Israel is supporting the world. Yeah, Tehran. Tehran is a TV series about Mossad, Mossad operations. However, I heard the acting is not that good. But I support the effort. Oh yeah, the movie Munich also features Mossad. Yeah, that one is old though. Yeah, guys, don't forget to like the stream. Somebody's saying let's make Persia great again. Let's make Iran great again, not Persia. Remember, the name is Iran, but I appreciate the sentiment. Remember, Iran is only half Persian, so let's not forget the rest of Iranians. I didn't say. Somebody's saying, how can you say a country is evil? I didn't say any country is evil. Which country did I call evil? I'm Iranian. Do you think I would call Iran evil? There is separate. What are you talking about? When did I call a country evil? I'm talking about Putin, not Russia. I'm talking about the Islamic Republic, not Iran. You should know that, given that I'm Iranian, and as an Iranian, I would never call Iran evil. Roy is saying Mossad is generating better fiction than Hollywood could imagine. Exactly, yes. Mossad and IDF. Bargad Defense System is here saying thank you so much for the gifted membership. Yes, thank you, Kenny, for. Yeah, I call IRGC and the regime in Iran. In fact, I am so careful. I learned this from others, including Sarah Schrader. I don't even call the regime in Iran. I don't call it the Iranian regime. I call it the regime in Iran. If I'm careful, I don't call it the Islamic Republic of Iran. I call it the Islamic Republic in Iran. That's how careful I am to separate it from the rest. Somebody's saying, why don't you Iranians rebel now? First of all, they are every day. Second of all, mass. Right now, the security. Guys, first of all, you have to understand that the only thing that the Iranian regime is capable of and does that masterfully, like when it comes to their armed forces, is the suppression of its people. So basically, it's hopeless against the United States, it's hopeless against Israel, but it's very, very good at really cracking down upon the Iranian people, unfortunately. And they gotten better at that. And every time the Iranian people came into the streets, they paid a huge price for it every single time. Remember, the Iranian people are not armed, and the Iranian regime is very armed. Not against Israel. It's not armed significantly, but it's very armed against its own people. And right now, the military presence, the anti-protesting military presence in Iran is very high. So you're basically asking for the something very difficult. If whenever the motivation is there, whenever the time is right, and the capability of it is there, the Iranian people will do it. But it happens when it can happen. So if it's not happening, it's because it can't be happening. So don't blame the Iranian people. The oppression and the crackdown is very, very high. We got a super chat from Kenny, super sticker. Thank you, Kenny. Kenny, you're very generous. I appreciate that. This is why the Iranian people constantly look up to Israel to help them out, because they're not armed, and they're looking at the Israeli government, and then they're noticing that they're completely in line ideologically, and their goals are completely aligned. The only difference is that the Israelis are armed and the Iranian people are not armed. Also, they're basically slowing down the internet right now. The regime is basically slowing down the internet in Iran to stop people from mobilizing. Oh, Nitsan is saying, Armin, how are people in Iran reacting to everything? So I mentioned this at the beginning of the show. Everybody I'm noticing, they're celebrating this. They're so happy. Oh, Bardo, for example, Bardo is here right now. She just gave a super chat. Thank you, Bardo. Bardo saying, hi, Armin June. Hi, Bardo. So sorry, I can't highlight the comments because I'm traveling right now, so I'm just doing this on my phone. I wish StreamYard had a mobile app. It's weird that they don't have a mobile app. Bardo is an Iranian American. Bardo, you tell people how do you feel about what's happening right now? Because again, I mentioned this at the beginning of the show. Many Iranians are basically thanking Netanyahu right now. They're so excited. Oh wow, we got another super chat by Kidon Israel. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate that. Bardo, if you're here, let people know as an Iranian American, what do you think about this? Oh, Reincarnation Entertainment saying good luck, Armin. This is big. This is huge. Let me see. Tema is saying, have you seen the Israeli kick streamer in Tel Aviv live streaming the missiles? People called her dumb for not going inside. She was at the 8th floor, but I think she was amazingly stoic. Yeah, I mean, I saw videos of Iranian people recording this and celebrate, like recording the missiles coming and celebrating it. And Harris showed me a video on his channel, which I did a live stream with, just before going live here. Go watch that as well. There was this guy recording the missiles hitting in Tehran, and he was so happy. And like, he was basically saying, hit these bastards, hit these bastards. Like, he was happy that Israel is hitting the officials. And he was like he was in Tehran watching the missiles drop on Iran, and he was celebrating it. He was under the missiles, but I think he understood that it's dropping upon the exactly where the IRGC commanders are. That's why he was celebrating it. Open Shamir is thank you for the super chat from Israel, saying, what will it take to get the Iranian army to turn on IRGC? That's a very good question. Oh wow, we got a couple other super chats. So let me answer these fast. So by Iranian army, you mean the Artesh, because we have two military bodies in Iran. One is the Artesh, one is the IRGC. Wow, we got a lot of super chats. So let me read the Reincarnation Entertainment before it goes. Like and subscribe to Atheist Republic. Thank you, Reincarnation Atheist. Thank you. So let me read the one by Open Shamir, and we got another big one by Happy Guy, which I will read after this. Thank you, guys. That's very generous. So okay, Open Shamir. So we have the Artesh and we have the IRGC. The IRGC is the one that the Islamic Republic created. The Artesh is the military body which was left from the Pahlavi time. So that one is the one that we hope that we could get to eventually defect and join the people against the rest of the Islamic Republic. The problem is that the body of the Artesh is what we have a lot of hope in, but the heads of the Artesh are basically the same as the head of IRGC. So the most important thing that Israel could do is also take out the heads of the Artesh, which are also now as ideological as the head of the IRGC, and the remaining body of the Artesh will now become a lot more likely to now join the people. And also there's a lot of people within the Artesh that want to go back to Pahlavi, right? And those voices will become louder if because the Islamic Republic knows the threat of the Artesh, and that's why they have replaced the heads of the Artesh with more ideological people that are more like IRGC. So those people need to be removed, and now the rest of the body of the Artesh could be something that we could be investing in to completely eliminate the IRGC with. I don't know if that answers your question, but that's a very good question. But let me know if that answered your question. I hope it did. Let me see. Oh my God, thank you for this purple super chat. That's very generous. Oh guys, I can highlight super chats on here. Okay, yeah, so I have to go. My wife is telling me where I have to go within. Oh, we have to check out. Okay, we have to check out of the hotel. All right, so we're going from one city to another. Let me just read the super chat and then I have to go. Happy Guy is saying, thank you for your excellent reports and insights. I pray for liberation for the people of Iran and Gaza. I appreciate the sentiment, even though I'm an atheist. But I appreciate the sentiment. Okay, so Oh, and also I appreciate that you're saying that for the people of Gaza as well. That's very sweet. Again, I know a lot of people in Gaza would want my would probably not never would want, as an ex-Muslim would want to see me dead. But again, I don't. If people, yeah, but I try to sympathize with people even if I hate their views, as long as they themselves haven't committed the crime, right? Also saying once IRGC and Hamas are defeated, we can hear the truth from Iranians and Gazans. Yes. I mean, we can hear the truth from Iranians right now. They're very loud, and they're saying what they need to say. But this is how I would add. This is what I would add to it. Once the once the IRGC is gone and Hamas is gone, we could see a true unity between the lovers, between the people on Team Life, wherever they are, whether they're in Gaza, in Iran, in Israel. It's basically Team Life versus a cult of death, and there's a lot of us, Team Life people in the Middle East, and we will basically be reaching out together when we will be rebuild the entirety of the Middle East together, and we will be saving the Middle East from the sea of death, this cult of death, as soon as this regime is gone. I hope to see that. I hope we see that day coming soon. I'll come back to Israel once that happens. We're gonna celebrating that. We're gonna have to celebrate this in Tehran and Tel Aviv. Kidon, thank you for the super chat. This is the last one, guys. No more super chats because I have to go. My wife's telling me I have to go. Kidon saying thank you. I love seeing how happy you are. I'm seeing Elon turned on Starlink in Iran. Really? Are you serious? I hope this is true. Wow, this will be a game changer. I mean, it is on. What we need is equipment. What we need to basically send the equipment in, because I know Starlink was people already had Starlink in Iran. What we need is people to do a fundraising where we could send more of the equipment of Starlink into the hands of more Iranians. That would be a major game changer. That's what we need the most right now. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate Bardo and Happy Guy and Kidon and Kenny and Reincarnation Entertainment and everyone else that supported us. So, how do I unhighlight this? Anyways, that's good. All right, guys. I'm gonna go and love you guys. This was a great day, and I hope we see more days like this until. I hope we see more days like this until we don't need more days like this. How about that? All right, guys. Bye. See you soon.